would like to go back to the policy issue just raised. I think the senior management and the UGC were more than happy to see every institution have this kind of policy or any outcome-based things. But I would like to address the questions, even though we have the policy or even though we have the outcome-based or put them together, how could we implement all those things to ensure the qualities of teaching and learning in your institutions if those policies or outcome-based documents will not be shelved behind you? Put it on the shelf.
Maybe my answer sounds a bit naive or maybe too...
Just right.
Yeah, maybe it's too idealistic. But if we actually trust the integrity of ourselves and of academia, I wouldn't think that those things will be shelved. Of course, they have to be humanly possible. But on the other hand, teaching and learning has been going on for, 3,000 years in China and many hundreds of years in other places in the world. So, and it actually boils down to the reflective person, whether you're actually reflecting on what you have done with your student and your student reflecting on what they have learned. So I don't see any particular colleague will say, I don't believe in OBTL, so I'll just don't bother with teaching and learning, because if they do that, they should not be in the university anyway. Despite the fact that we know the pressure of research, teaching and learning is still the bread and butter of university. So, so if somebody come and say that I don't like teaching and learning, I don't really care about how my students learn, that person will not be in university. So from that perspective, I think it won't be shelved.
Oh, I've got to reply. Sorry, I've got to say this. Your lot must be nicer than our lot. We need
video
incentives.
recorded.
Yeah. Okay. We need incentives. We need things that make it useful for people to put the effort into change. And there has to be a reward structure. And perhaps there has to be some requirements. At Chinese U, every program does undergo program review, and at the end of that, there's a report that goes to the Resource Allocation Committee of the university. Some of the programs get Christmas presents, in other words, they get an increase in their one-line budget. The majority remain the same, and a few of them get penalties. And the penalties are usually suspended sentences until a few little issues get sorted out. Now, that structure's worked really well. I mean, it's a minority of departments that get a little bit sort of hung up on and forget their true direction, as Eva's just pointed out, but occasionally having requirements works. And so I think universities are communities, and communities, you know, it'd be wonderful if the whole human race always behaved idealistically and nobly and with great virtue, but it's not the way we are. So I think you do need some sort of structures to implement and have requirements. And you can do it with a big smile and nicely. But you have to have teeth in policy. Policy without any process whereby you can ensure that it's actually taken seriously is not policy.